A cornerstone instrument for the HVAC industry is the multimeter. Although the options vary slightly from one manufacturer to another, all meters perform the same basic set of functions, which include volts, ohms, continuity, microfarads, microamps, and temperature. There are also several specialty functions which will be discussed. To measure voltage, select the type of power, either AC or DC, and the range. Some meters like this model will auto-select the range for you. If a range selection must be manually set, make sure a range is chosen which is higher than the expected voltage to be tested, otherwise damage to the meter can occur. This symbol means alternating current, and this symbol means direct current. The power source must be turned on in order to check voltage, and the meter leads must be connected to opposite poles or on opposite sides of a load or the opposite sides of a switch in the off position. Some meters also have a non-contact voltage tester which allows a quick evaluation of whether the power is on. A voltage test is to determine whether the supply voltage is in an allowable range and does not measure power or watts. Ohm is a measurement of resistance in a circuit. Here the power supply must be off, otherwise damage to the meter will occur. An ohm reading is the amount of resistance of all components measured between the test leads. For example, if the resistance is measured across a single resistor, only that one resistor is measured. However, if an entire circuit is tested, the total of all resistances in that circuit will be measured. Isolate the components to be measured whenever possible. OL stands for open leg and means the circuit is open. The lower the reading, the less resistance is present in the circuit. Do not hold the test leads to the wire with your fingers, since the meter will also read the resistance through your body as well as the resistance of the circuit being tested. Continuity simply measures whether a circuit is open or closed. It's a quick check to determine whether a switch is on or off and whether a circuit path is open or closed. A tone is heard to confirm a closed circuit, therefore eyes on the meter during testing is not required. Microfarads is a measurement for capacitors. Every capacitor has a specific rating, and the tolerance is usually 6% or 10%, meaning that if the capacitor falls below the tolerance range, it should be replaced. Capacitors are used with motors and compressors to either get them started or keep them running. The capacitor must be isolated from the circuit before it can be tested by removing all but one of the leads. If a single capacitor is being tested, simply place the test leads between the two poles. If a dual capacitor is being tested, measure between the common terminal marked C and fan, which is the condenser fan motor, and then between the common terminal and Herm, which is a hermetic compressor. On dual capacitors, it is possible for one of the two capacitor circuits to be damaged while the other is fine. Microamps measures extremely small amperage reading in a live circuit. These readings are taken in series with the circuit. For example, if a flame sensor is being tested, the meter leads are placed in series between the flame sensor and the wire. Even though the meter is between the flame sensor and the control board, the furnace will still fire up and operate normally. Temperature readings are essential in heating and air conditioning. There are two types of temperature sensors available for typical meters, namely the wire probe and the temperature clamp. On this meter, the test leads must be removed in order to turn the temp switch on. With a wire probe, a temperature reading can be taken inside a plenum of a furnace or AC while the equipment is being operated to determine temperature splits. With air conditioning, line temperatures are critical in determining the proper refrigerant level, and the temperature clamp gives us a solid contact with the pipe. There are other buttons on the meters for convenience. The hold button freezes a meter display in situations where the technician can't see the meter during a test. The HZ/duty button measures the hertz frequency for an AC power source, and the duty cycle measures a percentage for that power source. Most meters have a removable head to allow the technician to use accessories. Over a dozen different heads are available.